So Trump's there, he's got the tie, and then Elon is up there talking, right? And I don't really do it yet, but I'm working on it. You know? We got to go to Mars. We're going to Mars. And, because we can't sustain life on planet Earth. We got to go to Mars. This will be really cool. Okay? And then they say, President Trump. And Trump goes, what he said.
What do you get when a comedy icon crashes into a billionaire with a rocket-sized ego? Absolute carnage. Dana Carvey didn't just roast Elon Musk, he flambéed him in front of a live audience with impersonation so brutal, NASA probably picked up the signal. This wasn't playful banter. This was a masterclass in mockery. And Elon? Yeah, he looked like a Tesla running on fumes. You're not ready for this level of savagery, but you have to see it.
Check it out, Doc Mega. Yeah.
Carvey launches into his Elon mode with the precision of a SpaceX rocket and the emotional range of one too. Picture this: stiff body posture, awkward pauses, and a stare that screams, "I haven't blinked since the PayPal days." He starts mumbling about AI ethics while sounding like a malfunctioning GPS, then pivots mid-sentence to Dogecoin like he just remembered he owns the internet. It's uncanny, it's uncomfortable, it's Elon Musk on a caffeine crash, and the audience knows it.
Check it out, Doc Mega. Yeah, but seriously, I run the country now. And America's gonna be like one of my rockets, you know, they're super cool and super fun. But there's a slight chance it could blow up and everybody dies. Anyway, I'm Doc Mega. See you in the White House. USA, USA.
But Carvey doesn't stop at the voice. Oh no, he slips into a full parody spiral, mocking Elon's habit of tweeting like a 14-year-old who just discovered Reddit. Free speech is good, he monotones. Unless someone says something I don't like, then it's shadow ban o'clock, baby. The crowd erupts because it's too real. Somewhere, a Tesla's autopilot short-circuited out of secondhand embarrassment.
Say, President Trump. And Trump goes, what he said. What he said, he's a smart cookie, he's a tough cookie, he's a cookie monster. This one, he's smart, everybody talks about it. He's like a ship so hard, excuse me. Everybody knows it, and nobody works a word like Trump. He's a smart, tough cookie, he's a cookie monster. He's a Lorna Doone, you know the Lorna Doone, you remember the Lorna Doone? Anyway.
Then comes the cherry on top, Carvey's impression of Elon explaining anything. He fidgets, stutters, and launches into a half-baked metaphor about Mars colonization using emojis, Taco Bell, and quantum physics. It makes no sense, and that's the joke. It's less TED Talk, more fever dream narrated by a Wi-Fi signal with commitment issues. The wildest part? Carvey isn't exaggerating. That's what makes it brutal. His Musk isn't a caricature, it's a cracked mirror.
Welcome to the Dana Carvey Show. My guest is Bill Maher. Hi. So Trump's there, he's got the tie, and then Elon is up there talking, right? And I don't really do it yet, but I'm working on it. You know? We got to go to Mars. We're going to Mars. And, because we can't sustain life on planet Earth. We got to go to Mars. This will be really cool. Okay? And then,
every tick, every contradiction, every moment Elon tries to sound profound but ends up sounding like a sleep-deprived Bond villain, it's all there. By the end, the audience isn't just laughing, they're gasping. Not because the impression was over the top, but because it wasn't. Carvey, now in full absurdity mode, struts on stage like a glitching simulation of self-confidence. He kicks off with a self-congratulatory announcement about successfully launching a Dogecoin-fueled toaster into low Earth orbit, because, you know, innovation. The voice is equal parts Martian overlord and malfunctioning AI, but the smugness? That's 100% authentic.
frankly, let me tell you, you're going to be seeing a lot of it. That I can tell you. I mean, when you look at it and you look, it didn't work out so great for so many of these people, and you're seeing it all over the place. Many people are saying, we're not those people. We don't do that, okay? So you look at what they're doing, you look at all of it, and people are very disappointed like you wouldn't believe, because it's a terrible deal, really a bad deal. And we're going to be doing something very soon, and you're going to be happy. You're going to be seeing a lot of it. You're going to be happy like you wouldn't believe. That's tough.
Then comes the fake interview. Carvey, as Musk, sits down with an imaginary journalist who dares to ask a real question. Mr. Musk, how do you define free speech? Cue awkward silence, a few confused blinks, and then, free speech is when I say something weird and no one questions it. Anything else is woke propaganda. He grins mechanically, like a Roomba that's just bumped into the First Amendment. The audience laughs, but it's the kind of laugh that says, oh no, he might actually believe that. Carvey doubles down. I believe in unrestricted discourse, his Musk drones, as long as it's filtered through me, my platform, my team, and a very selective algorithm that bans people for not liking my memes. The timing is brutal. The delivery, surgical. It's like watching a Tesla run over the Constitution in self-driving mode. Then with deadpan precision, Carvey shifts gears. Environmentalism, Musk style. I care deeply about Earth, he says, while miming throwing coal into a rocket booster. It's hilarious.
What about me? Kidding. Legalized comedy. That was from when I tried to buy the election in Wisconsin. I'm an idiot. I should have just bought Wisconsin. Glitch. Pinwheel. And I'm back.
And it's horrifying. Every line is dipped in just enough absurdity to be funny, but close enough to real Musk behavior that it feels like an expose in disguise. Carvey didn't just mock Elon, he revealed him. A man who talks like he invented language, acts like he owns the planet, and somehow thinks the solution to climate change is more rockets. At one point, Musk tries to explain Neuralink by drawing a crude brain with squiggly lines, shouting, "Connectivity!" like he's casting a spell. He then attempts to explain his goal to upload consciousness to the cloud, only to get distracted by a clip of himself dancing badly at a Tesla launch party. "This is art," he mutters. "You just don't get it." By the end of the bit, you don't know whether to laugh, cry, or send a wellness check to the real Elon. Carvey's impression isn't a parody, it's performance art with teeth. It hits so hard, even Musk fans are left nervously chuckling, looking over their shoulders like the real Elon might send a robot lawyer after them.
I feel income inequality on airplanes, man. Cause I have extra money, I get to ride in the pointy part of the airplane, and you just feel like a rich prick. You're up there, and you've got your New York Times and your champagne and big leather seat, and then they arrive.
And the timing? Absolutely diabolical. Carvey didn't just toss this roast into the comedy void, he launched it straight into a media firestorm. Elon had just wrapped up one of his signature Twitter meltdowns, possibly involving a misspelled rant about the deep state, an AI girlfriend meme, or a poll asking if he should buy Greenland. Add to that a fresh round of Tesla recalls, followed by a half-baked political take that managed to offend both sides of the aisle. And suddenly, Carvey's sketch hits like a precision-guided karma strike. The audience, already fatigued from Musk's non-stop headline hijacking, didn't just laugh, they exhaled. It was a collective release, like the moment you finally say what everyone's been thinking in a group chat and someone replies with "thank you." Carvey became the unlikely hero of the moment, a boomer in a blazer turning a billionaire into a punchline with nothing more than a smirk, a nasal voice, and some very aggressive eyebrow work.
Very disappointed like you wouldn't believe, because it's a terrible deal, really a bad deal. And we're going to be doing something very soon, and you're going to be happy. You're going to be seeing a lot of it. You're going to be happy like you wouldn't believe. That's Trump. I got Dana Carvey.
Clips of the sketch exploded online. TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, every platform lit up with people quoting lines like, "Free speech is when I tweet unhinged nonsense, and you thank me, and I offset my private jet emissions with vibes." But this wasn't just about getting laughs. This was comedic catharsis. People didn't watch Dana's Musk and think, "Wow, funny robot man. They saw a stand-in for the overwhelming, chaotic absurdity of modern tech culture, the unchecked egos, the performative genius, the billionaire cosplay of saviorhood. Carvey held up a mirror and said, "This is what we've let happen. It's weird, it's cringy, and it's time to laugh before we cry." Even fans of Musk, those die-hard NFT-flipping crypto disciples, were stuck in an emotional chokehold. Do you defend your favorite eccentric overlord or admit that Carvey absolutely bodied him? It was too real to ignore and too funny to deny, and in that moment, Carvey wasn't just doing impressions, he was performing a public service. A one-man truth bomb wrapped in absurdity. A roast so sharp it made tech bros sweat through their Patagonia vests. The sketch didn't just land, it stuck the landing, pirouetted and flipped Musk's media dominance on its head. Because sometimes, all it takes is a good impression, impeccable timing, and a crowd that's had just enough of billionaires pretending to be memes.
Do you ever feel like you're going crazy with all the voices in your head?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I mean, I'm coming on to him. I mean, I'm still having fun with Trump. I did love the jokes. I mean, Trump teasing what he's going to do, and he's not making the announcement, is so funny to me.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, I'm going to be saying something very soon. We're going to say it, and we're going to do it, and we want to do it, and we're going to say things like you wouldn't believe. And many people say they don't want to see it, they don't like that, but we're going to do it anyway. We're going to do it.
He has full arguments with himself.
As the laughter faded, something lingered. Something sharper than the punchlines and weirder than Musk's latest baby name. Carvey's sketch, underneath all the absurdity, had teeth. What started as an impression morphed into a message. How exactly did we let one eccentric billionaire become the de facto spokesperson for free speech, electric vehicles, space travel, brain chips, and memes? Between the robotic monotone and the cringe-drenched dance moves, Carvey planted a quiet but powerful question. Why does one man get to steer multiple global conversations at once? With a Twitter poll. The sketch didn't need to scream it. It just showed it. Elon casually toggling between launching rockets, firing off layoffs, and redefining censorship like he's playing SimCity with actual lives. And through it all, Carvey's deadpan delivery reminded us how weirdly normal we've let that become. The brilliance was in the layering. On the surface, you had goofy voices and space toasters, but beneath it, a cultural gut check.
He's always repeating this story, you know. Yeah, I went to Scranton. I grew up in Scranton, Pennsylvania. My dad lost his job. No joke. I'm not kidding around here. No human being in the world thinks that's a joke. Nobody. Is anybody who lost his job?
Carvey's parody peeled back the blind adoration surrounding tech moguls who promise salvation with a side of stock volatility. He didn't have to say, hey, maybe we shouldn't treat billionaires like messiahs. He just was that billionaire, cranked up to 11 and let the audience connect the dots. And boy, did they. It landed especially hard because it wasn't preachy. There was no lecture, no, here's why you're wrong. Just a hilarious, uncomfortably accurate caricature of a man who somehow became the CEO of everything and accountability of nothing. Carvey made it funny enough to swallow, but pointed enough to digest. He showed us what happens when admiration curdles into worship, when being disruptive is treated as a virtue no matter how much actual disruption it causes. And what made it all the more powerful? Carvey wasn't campaigning, he was clowning. With every twitch of the eyebrow and every weirdly timed pause, he held a mirror up, not just to Musk, but to us, the fanboys, the shareholders, the journalists live tweeting Elon's every bathroom thought like it's scripture. It was comedy, sure, but comedy is a sanity check.
And then, then he would do the number thing. Number one, the one part. Number two, what the guy said. Number three, you know the drill. Come on. No, we don't. Now what he does is he kind of whispers and then he yells. If you know, I think it's a wonderful move. Don't you love it when he's like, we know how to get natural gas. Because we can get it. We know how to get it. That's what we do. We take the people, the public, the pirates of the Caribbean.
By the time the sketch ended, people weren't just laughing at Elon. They were reevaluating him. Reevaluating why they ever thought a guy who sells flamethrowers and names his child after a Wi-Fi password should be the moral compass of the internet. And somehow, Carvey did all that without wagging a single finger. That's the genius of it. making us laugh at what we've normalized, and maybe, just maybe, encouraging us to snap out of it. Because once the joke lands and the clapping stops, you're left asking the real question: is the joke on Elon or on all of us? And then, boom. Social media caught fire faster than a first-gen Tesla on a hot day. Twitter lit up with hashtag Carvey versus Musk, and the memes rolled in like waves of beautiful petty justice. Musk's fans? Oh, they came out swinging. Some cried foul, accusing Carvey of punching down, which is a fascinating take considering Elon is the one launching luxury rockets from his backyard. Meanwhile, celebrities piled on like it was roast season. Comedians reposted the sketch with captions like, "Dana's still got it," and "Elon, blink twice if you need a new PR team." Even a few former SNL cast members chimed in, crowning it the best Musk takedown yet, with one calling it therapy in sketch form. And let's be real, it kind of was. And Musk? Well, his reaction was classic Elon chaos. Either he dropped a cryptic tweet about haters being my fuel accompanied by a gif of Iron Man, or he went full silent mode, which somehow screamed louder than any clapback could. No denial, no joke, just the quiet hum of an ego possibly bruised. Suddenly what started as a goofy but became something bigger, a full-blown comedic cannonball into the tech ego swimming pool. Dana Carvey didn't just roast Elon Musk. He entered the hall of satire legends with a flamethrower in one hand and a Neuralink joke in the other. Right there with Chappelle skewering cultural absurdities, Colbert dismantling politicians in real time, and George Carlin turning rants into gospel. Carvey earned his place. Not with a rant, but with a ridiculous pinpoint accurate impression that hit harder than a Tesla door panel refusing to open. Because in this modern moment, when billionaires are no longer just CEOs, but meme warlords, media moguls, and part-time philosophers, comedy doesn't just make us laugh, it holds the line. Musk isn't just building cars, he's shaping political narratives, dunking on journalists, tanking crypto markets with emojis, and redefining free speech like it's a new app feature. When that much power is wielded through tweets and vibes, parody isn't petty, it's necessary. That's where Carvey's sketch goes from funny to foundational. It's not just satire, it's resistance with a laugh track. Because let's face it, in a world where one man's 280-character tantrum can wipe billions off the market, where algorithms favor chaos and charisma over competence, and where charisma means dancing like a malfunctioning Roomba, we need someone to say, "Hey, does anyone else see how insane this is?" And that someone happened to be a 68-year-old SNL legend, still sharp enough to gut a cultural moment with nothing more than a raised eyebrow and a parody of a man who thinks tweeting at 3 a.m. is public service. It matters because it reaches people where policy can't. No one's reading white papers on platform regulation at midnight, but they are watching a sketch where Elon explains rocket science using pizza metaphors and threatens to fire the moon for not increasing shareholder value. Comedy, in this case, isn't escape, it's engagement. It tells us, you're not crazy, this really is nuts. And that's the beauty of it. Somewhere in the absurdity, Carvey reminded us that laughter is still one of the sharpest tools we've got, that you don't need a Twitter army or a billion-dollar startup to challenge power. Sometimes all it takes is a microphone, a voice just weird enough to sound eerily real, and a perfectly timed joke that slaps harder than an autopilot malfunction.